Okay, I'm going to show you how to reboot your furnace. Mine isn't working correctly, so I need to reboot the system. And to reboot the system, just like kind of related to a computer, but to reboot the system, you turn the thermostat down so there's no call for heat. So it's at 67 and it's 63 in here right now. So I'll turn it down to 60. I heard it click. It no longer has a call for heat up to the furnace. And the next step is where I'm going to go flip the breaker or turn the power off to the furnace system, count to about 30, and turn it back on. So the first step in rebooting your heater system is to turn the thermostat down, which I already did. I got to start over again. So the first step in rebooting your furnace is to turn the thermostat down, lower than the temperature in the house. In my case, it says it's 64 in here, which isn't too bad, but the furnace still isn't working correctly. So the first step, turn the thermostat down below the temperature of the house. Okay, the next step is to turn the power off to the heating system. Mine is marked here because I've done this before. It's this one right here. 5, 6. Count to 30. I'm not going to count to 30 for this video, but locate the correct breaker. The next step is to turn the breaker off, or the power. You could actually go in the attic and pull the plug out of the outlet, or you can come over here and do this if you're not going to go up in the attic and you're just going to try it without going up in the attic. I usually count to 30. Sometimes I leave it for a while, let the system drop down. But you turn it back on. And so you need to turn the power off. Mine's located. I know where it's located. Turn the power off. Count to about 30, and turn the power back on. I'm not going to count to 30. You don't need to stand here. We don't need to wait. So the next step is to turn the power off. Count to about 30 and turn the power back on. Okay, to recap, I turned the thermostat down, I went outside, I turned the power off, counted to 30, turned the power back on. Now I'm going to turn the thermostat back up to call for heat for the systems to start working or try and work. Mine probably won't work. I've done this a few times, but I thought I'd share this, how to reboot the system with you guys. Because that might be all you need to get your furnace to kick in and start working for you. Because it has worked for me in the past. And I'll see what other problem I have. I'm an amateur. I'm just reading the paperwork and stuff, but I have a heating and air guy who told me how to reboot the system this way, and it's the first step to try and get your heater system going. So we're going to turn this up. I'm not done. So we're going to turn this up. It's 63 in here. It just clicked at 64. I'm going to click it to 67 and go up the ladder and watch this thing fire up. Okay, we're going to turn the thermostat on. Okay. Another way to reboot the system is to turn the thermostat down there. Another way to reboot the system is to turn the thermostat down, come up in the attic, undo the power, and count to 30 instead of going out to the breaker box. But this is if you have the ladder and you're all set to whatever. So I'm showing you the other way of doing it, and I'm just doing it twice. It won't hurt anything. So you just power it down, power it back up, set the power. I'm going to go down the ladder and turn the thermostat back up because I already turned it back down again. Okay, now the system's kicked in and it's got a call for heat and it's going to run. I'm thinking that it's not going to kick off, but it might. It tries three or four times, and if it doesn't work, it'll set a code, and the code will be that little light right there. And last time I did this, it did 1 short bleep and 4 long bleeps or whatever. So that told me that it was error code 14. See how that... So once it tried, it didn't work. It's going to try again. And when it's done, I'll read that code again. I believe it's going to say the same thing. 1.4, which there's about 5 things that the paperwork says to check. And this is equivalent to what's on the furnace itself, which is right here. This paper came with a aftermarket motherboard that I put in last year. So, and 14 tells me to look down here at 34, and it gives 5 different things to check. And one of them is to just take a little sandpaper and clean your thermocouple. That's like the first thing you check. Another thing was make sure your gas valve is turned on, or you have enough gas pressure coming into the house. So there's just a couple little things, but it's not firing. Sometimes it does, but I haven't been lucky lately, so that's why I'm up here. So I'll just film all 3 cycles, but I'll probably cut some of this out. Okay. Right now the fan is running. Everything's dark in there. There's no igniter yet. The igniter is glowing, but it's not firing. I heard it click. The igniter's really bright. Now it's going down, so it's not firing. So it's gonna spit a code here on the light. Let's see. And one, 2, 3, 4, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so again, it's code 1-4, and we'll have to look into remedying that situation, and I don't know if I'll be successful because I'm not a heating and air guy, but this is a homeowner taking his first crack at getting his furnace going again. I don't know if you can read this, but I'm going to show it anyway. That's the closest I can get in without it going out of focus. So 1-4, it says, you know, igniter's not working. Then it refers you down to number 34. And I can't read it. Let's see. Will it focus? No. Maybe you can zoom in on your own, on your screen or something. But there's number 34. I'll read them in a sec here. Okay, I'm going to read the codes to you. 1-4 says ignition lockout. Lockout occurs after 4 tries. Control will be auto reset after 3 hours. See status code number 34 below. So the system will wait 3 hours. It'll do that reset just like I did by unplugging the power and blah blah blah. So after 3 hours, it's just gonna, it'll try again later on, 3 hours from now, but it's not going to try for a while. So I'm kind of forcing it to reset. Okay, so, and then it says refer to number 34, which is ignition failure. Control will try 3 more times before a lockout, number 14, which up above, occurs. If flame signal is lost after trial for ignition period, blower will come on for 90 seconds recycle delay. Okay, so it'll come on for a 90-second recycle delay. Check for oxidized buildup on flame sensor. So you clean that with fine sandpaper, and I have an old one right here. I have 2 old parts. This is the thermocouple. So this is the thermocouple. They're asking me to get some sandpaper and clean this off a little bit. This one's probably fine, but I replaced it a little while ago because there's no buildup on this one at all. Maybe I'll just try putting this one back in. And this is an igniter, and this one's broken. It wasn't broken, I replaced it, and then I broke it when I was taking it out to put the new one in. So here's an igniter. Those are 2 cheap pieces you can replace to maybe get your system running again. So clean the buildup on the thermocouple. So here we got. So clean the buildup. So clean the buildup on the thermocouple is 1. Proper flame sense microamps, 5 microamps DC minimum. Okay, I don't know how to check that, but I will find out how to check that. Okay, I already did that. Green and yellow wire must be connected to the furnace sheet metal. I'll have to look for the green and yellow wires, make sure that they're got a good, you know, clean connection to the sheet metal. Maybe it's maybe they're ground wires or whatever. So those need to be connected correctly. Maybe they're dirty or whatever. This system is 1995. It is now 2012. So I've gotten 17 years out of the system so far. So I'm doing pretty good. I understand they last anywhere between 10 and 20 years. Inadequate flame carryover or rough ignition. Whatever that means. An inadequate flame carryover. And then it says gas valve turned off, which is over here. It's not turned off. And it says manual shut off. It says low inlet gas pressure. So those are the things that it's telling me to check. There's 5 of them. I'll give it a shot. I'll reboot the system multiple times after I try each one. Maybe I'll go get a new igniter, new thermocouple. I did replace the motherboard once, and with a here it is. All right, let's look at that. I replaced the motherboard once. This is what I replaced it with. It says it's ICM 282 for this particular furnace, and it was challenging. It had instructions on how to install it, and I did all the instructions and I got it working again. I just had to have a friend get me that part, because you can't buy it on your own. You have to have a heating and air guy purchase the part for you, or do it with you, or whatever it is. So thanks for watching, and I hope this helps you get your furnace running again. Well, the furnace didn't work at all yesterday, so I tried it again this morning, and it fired, it started. So I don't know why it works sometimes and sometimes it doesn't, but when it does fire, it doesn't keep running. It ends up stopping at some point and not bringing the house up to temperature. So it's running right now. When it does stop, hopefully there'll be another code or lights here to read. Where is that? Lights in this window to read, and maybe it'll give me a different code, and it'll maybe be a little more specific at what the problem is. Because yesterday it had no ignition. Today it has ignition, but I'm guessing that it's going to stop running and not bring the house up to temperature. But I hope that brings the house up to temperature, because the house is pretty cold right now. But I'll see how it goes, and I'll let you guys know, because maybe this will help you there at home with your furnace.